Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Unprofessional Breakdown. And I got my homegirl for many, many years, Jada, Alicea, in the place to be. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Just chilling, man. Went to work for a little bit this morning and home here, just chilling. Couldn't wait to talk to you. So right to it. Just want to get right into it. Deep dive into submission grappling series. what what can we expect from that show that you're putting together? And I know you threw out a date out there. Remind me when that date is.
June 26th. It's going to be here in Orlando at Gilt Night Club. If you guys been to Combat Night and have experienced Combat Night, I'm working really close with them to put this show on. So, pretty big shoes to fill with that one. Yeah, just really want to put on a show. This one's going to be all super fights. So we're just going
Okay.
to highlight these competitors, and I feel like that's a really good way to get. I mean, that list is looking pretty stacked right now.
Can you give us an idea of like who you have matched up yet, or not yet? You don't want to drop that yet.
I really don't want to drop that yet.
That's
We're
cool. I
not ready
respect
for that
that.
yet.
I respect that. So, what the idea of submission grappling series? What is that something that you've been thinking about for a while now, or did it come up sporadically? And what was how did that come about with the whole idea? Like, when did it start, and what made you say, you know what, fuck that, this is gonna steamroll at 100 miles per hour right now?
Yeah. I've kind of been thinking about it for a little while now, but it was something that was like maybe in the future I would do it, type of thing. But then I was talking to Mitchell. We were hanging out, and we were at Fight to Win, and we're just standing there, and he's looking around. He's like, "Man, we could do this. We could do this easily." And I'm like, "Yo, let's do it." And like, Mitchell's really, really busy, so
Yeah,
knowing that he doesn't really have the time for it, I was like, "Yo, I'll just do it." And he was like, "Yo, I got you." And yeah, that's pretty. We just went from there.
that's I figured it was something I was tinkering for a long time, and it just takes the time to say fuck it. I'm gonna start it. So the name, what is that the first name that popped in your head, or were you messing around with other names? If you were messing around with other names, I want to hear them just to
I
see what
actually,
made this one stand out.
honestly, like, I was thinking I couldn't even the name was such a struggle for me. Like I was drawing a blank. I had no idea what to call it. And I was just like, man, let's just go with the basics. Like basically what it is, it's gonna be submission grappling. And I looked it up to see if it was taken and it wasn't. So I just really just try to keep it as simple as possible because I think I was overthinking the name and I just really wanted it to I'm sorry, I keep putting my hand there. Um
It's all good.
I just I just wanted it to kind of like be self-explanatory when you read it. You know what I mean?
And it's I like it. Submission grappling series, and I mean it is what it is. Submission grappling series. So you mentioned that this first event happening on June 6th at the Gilt Night Club,
26.
26. Sorry. It's gonna be super matches only, right?
Mhm.
Now,
Yep.
does that mean that submission grappling series 2 gonna be a tournament base as well as submission super matches, or it's gonna be a mix, or are you gonna continue the super matches kind of idea?
Um, I'm actually we were talking about it today, and I would like to do like those host those events, right? Since we can't do them all the time, in between like maybe like fillers, I would like to host a tournament style where people can register, put money up, do absolute brackets where they put money down, and um and get cash prizes. Maybe do something like that hosted at like a gym or something, something smaller. But the events for now, yeah, I think they're going to be all super fights, all sub only, all subs legal, in a cage, some cage grappling.
Okay, so it's gonna be in the cage. So let's jump into the rules. What are the rules? that's for your submission grappling series? A lot of people want to
Yeah,
know.
I know everybody's had a lot of questions. I think really the only thing we're playing with right now, the ideas, is kind of cutting that overtime down a little bit. Just
Okay.
because we're gonna have a bunch of matches going that we have to figure out how to, yeah, cut down that overtime. So I would say it would be very similar to EBI overtime rules, um, but still trying to figure it out. I was talking to Mitchell about it, and he had a couple really good ideas. Jason had a few really good ideas too. So we haven't exactly decided on that. I would actually like to hear what people are interested in doing. Maybe I
Okay.
should ask that. Um, but for
You
now,
should
I'm thinking.
like if you do it live, right? And then just have people chime in. That's a good idea. But for those that aren't too familiar with the EBI, the Eddie Bravo Invitational and their rules, if you want to touch on that real quick, that way people can have an idea of what the rules gonna be, since it's gonna be similar to those rules, right? But you're just gonna switch things up like
So
overtime.
6 minutes. Yeah, I really think that that's really the only thing we're trying to figure out is the overtime. Maybe even if it's something like where instead of 2 minutes, we'll do a minute. But so you get 6 minutes, sub only. If you hit the overtime, best 2 out of 3, I believe. It's just because we've had so many ideas about it. You know what I mean? Like trying to figure out how to do that. I don't really know how to explain
No, that's
that
cool.
overtime just yet. Um, but yeah, maybe just cut down the time on it, or maybe like
Okay.
change like a position, like instead of having to hear something get there, like the wrist control or the hand on the mat, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Um, but definitely cutting down the time on that because I really don't want it to go to a rest decision or a draw. I would really like it to be, submission only. That's kind of the point of it.
Now, is there gonna be time limits to this, or is it gonna be like no time limits? Because I know when you first dropped, you said no time limits, but no time limits. That's or something similar to that. I don't know. This is the unprofessional breakdown. You know what I'm saying? But I thought I
Um,
saw something about no time limits.
no, we're no, I don't know what that's about, but uh 6 minute rounds
Okay.
for everybody, and then the overtime. I think we're gonna do something maybe with the advanced, like the black belts. Jason was talking about changing the overtime for that. Um, and with the lower belts, maybe just do like a minute overtime. I don't know. I would like to
No,
hear
that
ideas. I would like to
no,
hear
that's
ideas.
no, that's good. I really thought I saw something about being no time limits and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. But that's a long time because sometimes these guys they go for a long time. And you know that. Um, so I just wanted to touch on that regarding the time limit. So there is going to be a time limit, right? But you're still working on that with the advance and then the lower belts or whatever. But I think the
Well,
the limit is blue belts, right? Blue belts and up.
yeah, so they're gonna it's blowing up. So I think all the rules will be the same for everybody, maybe except the overtime rules for the main event and the co-main event.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, when you say white belts, there's a lot of folks out there that are like sandbaggers, and you know a bunch of them, and I know a bunch of them that clearly they're not white belts, but they don't take enough gi classes to get to the next level. Like, does that include them, or is there like, do they get a special pass, or what is it?
Well, I'm not doing white belts right now. I do have a couple of people that you know can hang with the blue belts,
Yeah, yeah.
so that like that I've trained with, and I just know that they have it and they'll put on a good
Okay,
show.
good. So if you know they got what it takes to hang, then definitely there's still hope for those. But I'm just saying because there's a lot of guys that have been training as long as us, and they're like, you know, they're not promoted yet because whatever life hits them, and they have kids or whatever, and they don't have life changes, life is crazy, so they're still considered a white belt, but clearly they're not white belt levels, so there's still chance.
I'm still a blue belt, and I've been active for pretty much the entire time doing this, except when I was
Yeah.
training with Levi. and then I was right back to it, and I've been pretty much active ever since, and I'm still low.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know, I know. I've known you for a long, long time. How long you been in this world, in this jujitsu mixed martial arts world?
A little over 8 years.
8 years. That's a long ass time. You've seen a lot of people come and go in that time, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It went by really fast. I look now, I'm like, dang, it's been a minute. We've been at this for a minute now. You know?
Yeah, and me too. I sit back and I'm like, damn, I remember when this guy started. He was a white belt, and he's a black belt now. We started the same time, but obviously there's levels to this. I'm not the greatest at anything. I'm just a crazy guy that does crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But like Matt Furiola, I remember when he started. And look at him now. I think he's a phenomenal grappler. I remember Jason. I rode with him. I remember when he started long time ago, and another phenomenal grappler. I was gonna say rapper. Man, he don't rap. Maybe he does. I don't know.
Maybe he does. We
But
don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, man. Like, so what's up with you? Like, are you planning on fighting MMA again? Clearly, you're 100% focused on the submission grappling series. But are you planning on getting back in the cage as far as kickboxing, MMA, or you put a stop on that for now, or maybe?
That's always on the agenda. So
Okay.
this is just keeping me busy, and I just like I'm already in the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's just another thing added to my resume. You know,
that's dope, man.
might as well
And
stay busy.
that's good. Staying busy is good, man. And I want to. So, what's your training schedule like? But I ask you because you're a mom. You're a great mom. I think you're an awesome mom. And there's other moms out there, that are training as well. So I want to know what your schedule is like. How do you balance, um, your relationship, being a mother, and all that with training? Obviously, in your case, it's cool because your man trains and and you guys train together and your kids are training now too. So how do you balance all that, with your scheduling and all that stuff?
I basically had to make my own schedule. Like there was no way I was going to be able to work a full time job with this
Hmm.
schedule. I
Hmm.
mean, I did for a while and still made that schedule happen. So I just had to make my lifestyle a part of it. Like I had to just make this whole thing my lifestyle. And yeah, I mean, we train every day.
Every single day.
It's just yeah, it's every day.
And
Training
I know you
hard.
got some cool stuff in your crib too.
Yep, yep. And it's been pretty cool because like now people are just coming over to train here. I get to get work here in the comfort of my own home, which is pretty nice. Which helps
And
also with the kids, you know.
it does. I have a little setup in my crib too, and the reason why I did it is because I have a full time job which I love and is great. It's like awesome. It's been a life changing thing for me. But I love training, and I don't have I can't just focus on training 100% because I got to pay the mortgage and buy my wife all the stuff that she wants and all and all that stuff. So I set up a spot, and kind of was inspired by Mitchell, in the Guillotine Factory. And I helped, I remember the beginning stages of that. I helped put up the lights and all that. And I was like, damn, one day I'm gonna buy a house and I'm gonna have a little setup like this, and it's gonna be cool. That way I can train at like 10 o'clock at night, when the gym is closed. Shout out to my gym, Dark Wolf MMA and all that stuff. So I think it's pretty cool to have a setup. That way you can get some sort of work in, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's dope. I got an invite from Jason, and that made me feel good. I couldn't make it, but I'm like, damn, bro, they invited me. That's cool, man. Like, so it really, really did mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? So that's pretty dope. So you're over at Fusion Excel, right? That's your predominant gym,
Yeah.
and you've been there how long now?
A little over 2 years. Maybe
Two
like two and a half
years.
years now. Yeah.
There's a lot of killers in that gym, man. To survive there for 2 years, how does that feel? You're hanging in there with some tough, tough, tough people.
It's crazy, like even in 2.5 years later, it's still tough to keep up with all it's so tough to keep up, and like you have to force yourself to like stay in shape and and just push past, I don't know, fatigue. It's really tough. I will say that. But it's gotten easier, because I
Yeah,
know what to expect now. But it's always work.
good. As long as you're getting that work, that's definitely the key. Getting the work in, and yeah, sometimes they get the best of us, but it's for our own betterment, right? If that's a word or not, I
It's
don't know.
always
It's
good work.
unprofessional.
It's always, like it's a good tough. Like that's why I keep going. Like it's hard to stay away.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I like seeing everybody's improvements and their growth in this sport. I think it's pretty cool, especially if I've known you for a long time, or even the new cats that I meet, at these shows and all that stuff. I always like to see what's going on, and always wish the best and everybody. I want everybody to be happy and all that. And I see that you're extremely happy. How do you feel about your kids? Into this mixed martial arts world now that they're grappling now. Like
Well,
they're doing tournaments and all that. How does that make you feel?
really, like it's crazy because I didn't expect for it to make me feel that way, but it makes like that proud. When you have those like proud parent moments
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
see your kids doing something and you're just so proud of them that it's an overwhelming feeling. It really is, and you just want the best for them. And right now, my daughter's the only one that's interested.
Okay. But it seems like she's like having fun and she's doing well.
Really is, and Jason's been working with her and a couple of the kids from uh, from Fusion as well. They've been all been working together, getting that extra attention, and they're just little sponges, and they absorb everything. And yeah, she loves it. She has a lot of fun with it too. I think that's why she's getting so good because she's just a happy kid. She's,
Yeah.
she's just happy to be there. She's also super competitive, and she's
That's
naturally
good.
athletic, so it's going well for her. And yeah, and I just want to see her do well at it. And
That's awesome, man. I tell my oldest, he gotta learn jujitsu. Like he talks so much shit. I'm like, dude, you gotta learn. You're gonna get whooped. When you go to middle school, you're gonna get whooped. Cause he's like me, but times 10. I troll and I'm 5'3", but I don't give a fuck. I'll get whooped by anybody, but nobody's gonna come talk shit to me not say nothing. I'm always gonna say something. So I'm like, dude, you gotta learn jujitsu. So I teach him here and there, and he likes going to he likes L to teach him, and Juan, Fat Boy Jiu Jitsu over at Oviedo, because one, they known him since he was a baby, and two, like he really respects them and stuff like that. But I don't force him to do anything. I had a homie of mine that when I started doing boxing when I was a teenager, and he's been doing the boxing since he was a kid. Like his dad forced him to do things like waking
right,
up at 4 in the morning and run and all that stuff. So by the time he was 18, he like rebelled, and he like stopped doing it. And I'll never forget, like, we're in our 20s and I'm doing my MMA thing and all that stuff. And he's like, man, I wish I never stopped, but I just rebelled so hard. I wish I continued. And I'm like, yeah, I wish you continued too, bro. You were awesome, man. You could have been a pro right now and killing the boxing game. I really believe that. That's my homie. I really believe that. So that's why I'm kind of like weary because growing up, I see the parents pushing the kids, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes they just rebel and then they don't want to hear it no more. So I kind of let him do what he wants to do, and plus he's like really really smart, which is from his mama's side. My wife is like smart. I'm just like an idiot. So I just let him do his thing, and hopefully one day he'll be like he'll get whooped, and then he'll be like, Dad, you was right. I gotta learn
he'll get
jujitsu.
whooped.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want
I
him
mean,
to, but it's the harsh realities of life. Shit, I've been beat up a bunch of times, even before I started fighting this, because of me. I'm just a troll and I talk back and all that stuff. But so where can we find more information regarding submission grappling series on social media?
on on social media, yes, on Instagram, Submission Grappling Series, and submissiongrapplingseries.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you're gonna be pumping out the card, right? You're gonna let us know who's gonna
Yeah,
be it.
about 4 or 5 weeks out, I'll start announcing some of these matches.
Awesome. And where can we find you? What's your social media?
At underscore Jada Girl, I think something like that. Jada Girl, it'll pop up.
But before I before I let you go, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to little old me and being on the show. I've been wanting you on the show since before I started all this. So I see that you have these shirts. They're called Cannabis Infused. Is it? Can we talk about that now? Or and what?
Absolutely.
So so what's that all about? If real quick, I know a little bit of it because one of my best friends is Retro Grappler. That's one of my best friends, but I don't really ask him his business and what he does. But I see the shirts and I know that he did the shirts. But what is happening with that? What can we expect from Cannabis Infused?
Yeah, we're gonna make stickers, we're gonna make flashcards, we're gonna make it a whole thing. Um, and then I guess whenever it gets legal here in Florida, we'll have a submission grappling bake series, and it'll be pretty dope.
Ooh. Just like okay, just like the shows that we've seen before that which you participated in, right?
Right. High rollers, yes.
Yeah.
Something similar to that, but we're just gonna keep it here in Florida.
I dig it. Dig it. I dig it. Jada, thank you so much for taking the time out again. You know, you are an inspiration to not just women out there, but a lot of folks out there, man. You're constantly training, you love the sport so much, both MMA and, jiu-jitsu grappling. And I think you're a good inspiration to a lot of us. And I just want to let you know that, this real shit, no bullshit. You know how I am. Keep doing your thing. Um, and yeah, I'll post this and share the fuck out of it. Peace out, y'all. Good night.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you.